Greetings, seekers of reality. Have you ever wondered just how solid and reliable the floor beneath your feet truly is? Or how real those distant stars are that you gaze at during the night? For centuries, we were absolutely certain that the world was a vast, predictable, and almost mechanical object. It seemed to us that the universe was a perfect clock, wound up by someone long ago, which now operates according to the strict, unshakable, and understandable laws of classical physics. We believed in predictability, in logic, and in the idea that matter was something final. But in the history of science, there have been moments when a single small spark in a laboratory, one wrong experimental result, burned our entire understanding of the universe to the ground. Today, we are talking about discoveries that literally knocked the ground out from under the feet of the world's greatest scientists and proved that the world is far crazier, more complex, and more mysterious than we could have ever imagined in our wildest fantasies. After these experiments, reality will never be the same, and today you will understand why. Fasten your seatbelts, we are heading to the point of no return. It all began at the end of the 19th century, an era when scientists felt that physics was almost finished and that there was no room left for great discoveries. Physicists were firmly convinced that all of space was filled with ether, a kind of invisible, all-pervading substance through which light moved, much like sound moves through air or a wave through water. In 1887, Albert Michelson and Edward Morley decided to conduct an elegant experiment to measure the so-called ether wind created by the Earth's motion through space. They expected to triumphantly confirm the existence of this medium, but the result was shocking and terrifying for the scientific community of that time. There was no wind. The ether did not exist. This failed experiment destroyed the foundation of classical physics and caused the entire scientific community to fall into a deep crisis. However, it was precisely this dead end that inspired a young patent clerk named Albert Einstein to completely rethink the structure of the universe. He realized, if there is no ether, then the speed of light is absolute, and everything else is relative. This experiment opened the door to the general and special theories of relativity, where time can slow down and space can warp under the mass of stars and planets. We suddenly realized that we do not live in a stable and rigid box, but in a flexible, fluid continuum where the very concept of time is not a constant, but a variable depending on how fast you move through space. But if Einstein changed our understanding of space-time, the next great experiment literally destroyed our understanding of matter itself, turning the solid world into something ghostly. The double-slit experiment with elementary particles became a true nightmare for any materialist and remains the greatest mystery in science to this day. Scientists discovered something unthinkable that defies common sense. An electron behaves like a solid material object, like a tiny marble, only when a conscious subject or a measuring device is watching it. But the moment the researcher turns away and stops recording the particle's path, it instantly transforms into a wave of probability. It passes through two slits simultaneously, interferes with itself, and exists in all possible states at once. This discovery proved that at the most profound, fundamental level, reality is not determined until an observer looks at it. This experiment forever erased the sharp, unshakable boundary between the one who looks and that which is looked upon. We suddenly realized that the world is not a warehouse of ready-made things sitting on shelves existing by themselves, but an ocean of infinite quantum possibilities that take shape and freeze into reality only at the moment of our participation. This flips everything. It turns out that we don't just live in the world, we help it become real every second of our conscious existence. The final and most powerful blow to our peace of mind was dealt by experiments testing Bell's inequalities, for which the Nobel Prize in Physics was recently awarded in 2022. Alain Aspect, John Clauser, and Anton Zeilinger finally proved the existence of quantum entanglement, a phenomenon that Einstein himself once dismissively called spooky action at a distance. The essence of the experiment is that two particles that once interacted remain invisibly connected forever. Change the state of one particle here in your room, and the second one instantly, absolutely synchronously and without the slightest delay, will change its state, even if it is on the other side of our galaxy or millions of light years away. These experiments confirmed that our universe is non-local. This fundamental discovery means that beneath the visible layer of separation, where objects seem separate and independent of one another, lies a deep informational unity. Everything in the cosmos is connected by invisible threads that transmit the state of the system faster than the speed of light. Reality is not a collection of separate bricks that can be studied one by one, but a single, holistic, and instantly reacting organism. We now know that isolation is an illusion of our perception, and at the most basic level of reality, separation does not exist. These discoveries didn't just change the numbers and formulas or cause academics to argue in departments for years. They changed the very essence of what it means to be human and what our place is in this infinite cosmos. We can no longer look at the universe as a cold, soulless, and mechanical object existing out there, separate from our inner life. We learned that time is a stretchable fabric, matter is just a form of energy awaiting our gaze, and everything that exists is tied into a single, unbreakable informational knot. The world will never be the same because now we know, we are not just accidental passers-by, not dust motes on the outskirts of the cosmos, and not third-party spectators in this grand theater. We are the observers who, by our presence, our consciousness, and our attention, cause this reality to acquire density and meaning. This gives us incredible freedom, but it also places a huge responsibility on us for what kind of world we choose to see and create every day. So, which of these experiments seems most terrifying to you, or perhaps the most inspiring? How do you feel, realizing that the matter around you is just a wave of probability awaiting your attention? Do you believe that science will one day find the ultimate truth that explains everything, or will the world always throw new riddles at us that will repeatedly disprove all our previous knowledge? Share your thoughts in the comments. It is extremely important for me to hear your opinion and discuss these deep questions with you. Hit the like button if this video got your thoughts moving in a new direction, and be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next dives into the most incredible mysteries of reality. Remember, truth is always much stranger, more wonderful, and more massive than any fiction. I'll see you in the next episode, where we will continue to explore the boundaries of the possible.